Okay, so I welcome you all to the lecture on shear force and bending moment. Okay, so today I am going to solve a problem just on a beam, and here you look at this question. This question I have asked you. Okay, so here first you have to identify these supports, and from these supports it is clearly identifiable that these two are roller supports. Okay, so roller support, they provide reaction force along the vertical direction. So this is a simply supported beam. So because the two ends are being supported by two roller supports, number one. Number two, you have to identify the loads. This is beam is subjected to UDL. This is called UDL, uniformly distributed load. Okay, UDL and point load. So this is a combination of uniformly distributed load and point load. This UDL is 1 kilonewton per meter, and this is spread over a span length of 1 meter. Okay, so this is 0.5, 0.5. So altogether this is 1 meter, and in between this UDL there is a point load of 5 kilonewton is being applied. You have to understand the question first. And here after this 0.5 meter of span, there is no load applied. No load here, it is there. And after this there is again a point load. You can call it also concentrated load, point load or concentrated load of 2 kilonewton magnitude it is being applied. After that again there is a uniformly distributed load 1 kilonewton per meter spread over a span length of 0.5 meter. Okay, so you have to follow the procedures. This is the basic procedure and very conceptual. I am telling you, you have to strictly follow this. The first thing, we will go for the free body diagram, the drawing of the free body diagram. Before that, I am telling you, you have to we have to draw the free body diagram. We have to draw the shear force and bending moment for this beam. So all these shear force diagram, bending moment diagram and the free body diagram, they should synchronize with each other. So that I will put scale here, vertical lines. Okay, so the same procedure you people have also to follow, so that your copy will look nice and all the diagrams will be synchronized themselves. I have also told you previously. Okay, so this is there, and here where there will be point, there will be loads, there some lines will be there also here, because these are the points where much of the importance is given to shear force and bending moment. So these points I have to look at it, and I will advise you to make the answer of this type of question in two separate portions of a page. You have to make the diagram of all the question, then free body diagram, then shear force and bending moment in all together in a single place. I have asked I have seen that students they draw differently in different orientation or different places. So this is not good practice. This is never a good practice. You have to present all in one place. Okay, and that's why I have put two pages. Here I will make some solutions, and on this another page I will make this diagram. So you have to follow me. So after that you have to give naming to these points, and where we will give names. Naturally, the starting point of the beam. Okay, so here I am starting. This is point A, and where the loads are those points I will demarcate. So this will be point B, and here the UDL is starting na, so this will be C. So I have left one line. So here this I will put it. Okay, fine. A, B, C, and here this is a point load D, so this is here at E. Okay, so then I have to draw the free body diagram. So as the name suggests, as the definition, free body diagram. So you have to free the beam from its supports. There will be no support. Free the body diagram. That means you have to free the body, and the effect of the supports or effect of the surrounding, that must be represented. So the first thing, I have to draw the free body. This is the first step in your answer, that you have to successfully prepare a free body diagram. If you are unable to draw the free body diagram of a beam, then obviously you cannot proceed successfully. Okay, so first learn how to draw the free body diagram, and in the making the free body diagram, the constraint or the problem, the supports will arise. Here this will be roller support. If you can get a fixed support, there are two reactive forces will come. Okay, and so fixed support is there, roller support is there, hinge support is there. Okay, hinge support. So here the simple, and there will be two roller supports. So first, this is the beam. Okay, and for this rollers, they provide reaction force along the vertical directions. These are called as vertically directed reactive forces. Vertically directed reactive forces. So here this will be VA, and to distinguish between active forces and reactive forces, there is a standard notation. They cross it. Reactive forces are the reactions, they cross it, so that one will recognize that VA and VE. Why stands for V? Everything has got a reason. V means vertical. So this is vertical reaction force at point A. This is vertical reaction force at point E. Okay. So then the active forces, sorry, these active forces, here I will put, this is the UDL. Okay, and here this is the UDL. And at this point, there is 5 kilonewton of concentrated load. At this point, here it is a 2 kilonewton of concentrated load. That is the UDL of 1 kilonewton per meter magnitude. The UDL the same magnitude of 1 kilonewton per meter, and the span lengths, these are 0.5 meter. I am not writing meter. Okay, so this is clearly understood. 0.5, 0.5. To manage the space, I am not writing the units. Okay, and these are the points A, B, C, D, E. Over. Free body diagram is over. Then first step. So I am writing here in the theoretical solution. So step 1. Successfully prepare free body diagram. Then step 2. Step 2 is reaction or reactive force calculation, or you can write calculation of reactive forces. Calculation of reactive forces. So here there are two reactive forces. The two reactive forces. VA and VE. Okay. So here you and what are the equilibrium equations? So we have got three equilibrium equations. Three equilibrium equations. What are those? Number one is summation of f of x is equal to 0. Number two is summation of forces along vertical direction is 0. And number three is summation of moment about a point on the beam equals to 0. Okay. So summation of f of x, here it will not apply because there is no force along the horizontal direction. The second equilibrium equation, we are coming across the summation of f of y. If we will put summation of f of y here, there will be two unknowns, VA and VE. Here this is the unknown VA and there is another unknown VE. So better we will ask for the summation of moment about a point, then we will come back to the summation of vertical forces. So I will go for summation, and you can take moment at any point. You can take moment at A, you can take moment at B, you can take moment at C, you can take moment at D, you can take moment at E. It is up to your choice, but you cannot take the moment upon your choice. Why? Because as there will be two unknowns, our objective is to get read from one. So either you have to take moment at point E or you have to take at moment at point A, so that the moment due to vertical reactive force at A will be 0. Okay. So I am taking summation of moment about point A equals to 0. So this is the equilibrium equation. Then by the side of the equilibrium equation, you must give the sign convention. Because two types of moments can be created, one is clockwise, another is counterclockwise. So the standard notation I am taking, everybody naturally take, it is up to you, but you prefer this one. So counterclockwise moment I am taking as positive. So by the side of the equilibrium equation, you must have to give the sign convention. Okay. So summation of moment at point A equals to 0. And the counterclockwise moments I am taking as positive. So here you see that one is the, so I will start from the right hand side. I will start from here, this portion. Okay. So due to this vertical reactive force VE, what is the moment at A? Okay. So here you see the vertical, what is the moment? Moment is force into perpendicular distance. So here the force is VE, and between the line of action of the force VE and point A, the perpendicular distance is this one. So this will be 0.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.5 plus 0. So this is 2. And this is counterclockwise in nature, so this will be positive. So I can write VE into 2. Okay. Then I will come forward for this UDL. Okay, so this is the total span I am taking, 1 kilonewton per meter spread over the length of 1 meter. This is actually this is the point load is in between this UDL. So you can take all of the UDL once, then you can take this point load. Okay, so first I am taking this UDL. So this is how much this magnitude will be? This will be 1 into 1. Because this is the total spread over the total length, na? So this will be 1 into 1. And where it is acting at its CG over this span length, center of gravity or centroid, you can tell, as this is a two-dimensional lamina. So in this figure I can call it as your centroid. So here this will be moment of this UDL about this point A, this I can write and this will be minus, as this will be a clockwise movement, because UDL, the force will be acting in this downward nature, and due to this downward nature it will prepare a movement in the clockwise direction. It will prepare a movement in the clockwise direction about point A. Okay, so this will be, first I will put minus. So 1 into 1 kilonewton per meter into 1, and what will be the perpendicular distance? If it will act at the centroid or it will be at middle, this 0.5, then perpendicular distance between this point and at point A, it will be 0.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.5. So this will be 1.5. This will be 1.5. Okay, then another force 5 kilonewton I have taken. Due to this 5 kilonewton force, what will be the nature of the moment? The nature will be clockwise. So again it will be minus. So this will be minus 5, and what will be the moment arm? The moment arm is again 1.5. Between the line of action of this 5 kilonewton force and point A, the perpendicular distance is 0.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.5. So this will be 1.5. Okay. Then again another point load of 2 kilonewton. This point load, the line of action between the distance between the line of action of this 2 kilonewton force and point A, okay, the perpendicular distance is 0.5 meter. And what will be the nature of this couple? The nature will be, it will prepare a clockwise. It will prepare a clockwise movement. So this will be negative, minus 2 into 0.5. Then only force I am left with is your UDL of 1 kilonewton per meter. So this 1 kilonewton per meter is spread over a length of 0.5 meter. And again, due to this UDL, what will be the movement? This will be clockwise nature about point A. So this will be minus of 1 into 0.5. This is the force. And what will be the perpendicular distance between the centroid of this 1 kilonewton per meter UDL and point A is 0.5 divided by 2. So this I am writing as 0.5 divided by 2. This equals to 0. Okay. So this I can write 2 VE minus 1 into 1 into 1.5. So this will be 1.5 minus 5 into 1.5. So this will be 7.5 minus 2 into 0.5. So this will be 1 minus 0.5 into 0.25. So this will be 0.5 into 0.25. So this will be 0.125. 0.125 equals to 0. So VE will be, this will be 9 plus 1, 10, 10.125. 10.125 divided by 2. So this will be 5.065, I think. 10.125 divided by 2. So this will be 5.062. So 5.062 kilonewton. Okay. Over. Then as this vertical reactive force we get, we can now calculate this vertical reaction force at A. So now I will apply the equilibrium equation. The equilibrium equation, summation of f of y is equal to 0. And the sign convention here I will take all the forces along this vertically upward direction. This will be positive. Okay. So this is the sign convention for this equilibrium equation. So what are the upward direction force? These two only, VA and VE, are directed vertically upward. So this equation I can write VA minus, I can write for this UDL I can write 1 into 0.5, because this is coming downward in nature, minus 2 minus 1 into 1 for this UDL spread over the length of 1 meter, okay, and minus 5 kilonewton for this concentrated load. This is 0. So this I can write it as VA minus 0.5 minus 2 minus 1 minus 5 is equal to 0, or VA is equal to, it will be 5 plus 1 6 plus 2 8.5. Okay, so another reactive force I am forgetting. This will be VE. So this will be VE. So here I have to write, this will be VE is equal to 0. Okay, so this is plus VE is equal to 0. Okay, so VA will be, here you see 5 plus 1 6 plus 2 8.5. okay, 8.5 minus VE. So VA will be, this VE we have calculated here 5.062. okay, so this will be 8.5 minus 5.062. so this is getting 8.5 minus 5.062. so this is coming around 3.438 kilonewton. 3.438 kilonewton. Okay, so the reactive forces are being calculated successfully. We have calculated reactive force at A, and we have calculated reactive force at E. This is over. Then in the next part of our solution, we have to go for shear force calculation. We have to prepare the shear force calculation. This is step 3. Shear force calculation. Okay.